Good evening, I'm Brian Martin.
I'm Shelley Rabando. This is Express News at 5:30. Here are tonight's top 10 stories. 5 people are killed when a U.S. Navy plane accidentally drops explosives on a bombing range in Kuwait. Pentagon officials say the accident happened during a training exercise. 4 of the dead are Americans. The U.S. military has been operating in Kuwait since the 1991 Gulf War. A locally produced documentary is taking the Rochester Police Department to task. It's called R.P.D. Exposed, and it details suspected misconduct by the city police force. The half-hour show airs tonight at 10 on Cable Access Channel 15. Kristen Salome will have more on this story right after the top 10. And now more on the expose of the Rochester Police Department.
It airs tonight on Cable Channel 15. Kristen Salome spoke with the show's creator. She joins us live from the newsroom with more. Kristen?
Brian, R.P.D. Exposed is a half-hour show highlighting acts of alleged misconduct by the Rochester Police Department. Most recently, the shooting of Vandy Davis in a drug raid. The show includes interviews with Davis's sisters as they revisit the scene of his death, a death police call accidental, but they call murder. The documentary also shows a black man being roughly handcuffed and questioned by four police officers. The show's producer says it's an example of racial profiling, and he says the show is proof of a pattern of abuse on the part of the police department. David Vara, the producer, was out handing flyers downtown today, hoping to generate interest in his show and changes in the police department.
Being a minority, you know what I mean, in Rochester, it's like, I live with this, you know what I mean? I've been through it. I know people that have gone through it firsthand. And, you know, personally, it's about time someone comes out here and does something like this.
Now, Vara is not a professional journalist. He does come from a family of activists who won a civil lawsuit against the police department in recent years. His show airs tonight on Cable Channel 15 at 10 o'clock, and then again on Thursday at 9 p.m. And I should point out that we weren't able to get a copy of the show to the Rochester Police Department in time for them to respond, but a spokesperson does tell me that they take all allegations of abuse seriously, and they will take any new allegations of abuse seriously and investigate them. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kristen Salome, News 10, NBC.
A local documentary is calling attention to what it calls a sometimes strained relationship between the Rochester Police Department and the minority community. It is called R.P.D. Exposed. It highlights cases of alleged abuse on the part of local police, most recently the shooting of a city man during a drug raid. Producer David Vara was handing out flyers downtown to promote the show, which aired for the first time tonight. He is not a professional journalist, but his family did win a civil lawsuit against the police department.
Maybe it'll motivate people out there to come out and also get involved. You know, I don't see a lot of, you know, younger people involved in community meetings, you know, and you know, demanding, you know, a change.
That show will air again on Cable Channel 15 this Thursday at 9 p.m. A spokesperson from the Rochester Police Department tells us they investigate all complaints against their officers.
The Rochester, New York Police Department, a police force with a long history of misconduct and corruption, from Detective William Mahoney in the 1970s, nicknamed Backroom Bill because he would beat suspects in interrogation rooms, forcing them to sign false statements which he prepared. Mahoney would also fabricate and plant evidence setting up innocent people. Rochester Police Detective William Mahoney was convicted of planting evidence in the early 1980s. A decade later, Rochester Police Chief Gordon Erlacher was convicted of stealing several $100,000 from within his own police department. Some Rochester police officers, the same officers who take an oath and whom we trust to serve and protect us, instead abused their power entrusted upon them, engaging in corrupt and criminal activity, beating and abusing people, violating their rights, and in some cases, even killing innocent people. You watching R.P.D. Exposed.
My personal opinion on the police is that I don't care for them. I think they're above the law. A lot of them show that they want to be above the law. They wear the little black gloves, looking all tough. You know, they intimidate you. I got jumped by some cops, stopped by 13 cops one time because I ran from them, but they beat me up back in '85. You know, I got issues with the police.